Hi there, Mouseketeers! Princessminnie or Kate back with the part 2 of our Disney Princess tag, and
John's here. I'm apparently the star today.
Apparently.
So I just am?
You just are the star.
Oh, okay. I was worried you were going to say you're still the star.
No, for returning friends, you kind of know what we're doing here, I think. Thank you so much for joining along with us again today. For new friends, this is part 2 of a potential giveaway that we're doing. We have to see how it goes, I guess. I think we're going to definitely do it, but we'll see. Could that be any more wishy-washy?
Well, no, you gave the rules last time, isn't it? We just need 50 votes?
On each of our videos.
50 votes in the comments.
50 comments answering which Disney princess each of us are most like.
And this one's my video.
Obviously not appearance.
Not appearance.
Wise, just personality.
I mean, if you want to take appearance into account, we can't stop you.
There's no rules, I guess.
Yeah, there are no rules.
But as long as we get 50 comments for who I am and 50 comments for who John is, we will be shopping with those princesses in mind for a giveaway that would be coming out in May with items direct from Walt Disney World.
And my giveaway is going to be better.
Fine, you spend that money. You spend it.
I will.
Do it. I won't stop you.
Never do.
I would never stop you spending money. It's not my personality. But no, so before we get started today, if you did not see my princess tag where I tagged John, then you might want to go watch that one first. I explain everything in that video, so I'm not doing it again, and we can just get into this. But before we do start, I do want to do a subscriber shout out to Kylie Torres, who has been commenting on like all of my videos recently and just letting me know that she really is enjoying the content, and that means so much to me. I think she's been like maybe the first like or the first comment a lot recently, and it brings a smile to my face to see her name and know that, you know, there are people who are real supporters who are always chiming in, and that means a lot to me. So thank you so much, Kylie, and keep it coming. Now, I know you had 2 ladies that you really wanted to tag to do this tag after you. Oh,
and I was totally uncoached.
I had no sway on this whatsoever.
So they're going to be our 2, so who I'm going to tag for this video is the 2 finalists we had in our March Madness. One, Karen from Karen's USA Adventures, and Vicky from Vixen Lost in Disney.
Those are 2 really, really fun ladies, and I guess John just has a thing for UK girls.
I sponsored them in the competition, and they both went to the finals. So, like, it's, you know, I helped them out.
He had both of your backs until the very end where he stabbed Vicky in the heart and picked Karen.
There can only be one winner.
There could only be one. And it's Karen.
Yeah.
But no, Karen and Vicky, I would definitely love to find out which Disney princesses you both are most like. But then anybody can do this. I was not tagged to do this. John was, by me.
Yeah, it's true. I was invited, she was not. But then again, I was invited by someone who also wasn't invited, so like maybe by the transitive property, I'm not invited.
Mostly YouTube did not invite you.
Like if we weren't invited to a wedding and you decided to go and invited me, I'm still not invited.
We're still both crashing the party.
Yeah, I may not know it, but I'm crashing it.
You do know it though.
I do.
That's your problem. So, now I do think that it might be a little harder for people to pick a Disney princess that aligns with you based on some of these questions.
Which is crazy because it's obvious which Disney princess I am. Like, I'll tell you before we start.
No, you can't influence them.
I have to.
No,
that's not fair. I know who I'm saying I'm going to answer your questions and you can politely disagree with me. But like...
Well, before you say it, just know that I have the editing power. So go ahead and tell us who your Disney princess is most like. Well, there you have it, folks. The Disney princess John's most like. Now let's see what you think. Alright, question number 1, John.
Okay.
What is your favorite leisure activity or hobby?
It's between one of 2. Luckily, because I heard all these questions in your video, I think I'm ready to go.
Oh, good.
For a lot of these, I'm going to say it's definitely based upon like times of year. So in some times of year, it's board games and video games. Like I love to play them, but sometimes more with groups because they're a little more fun that way. So right now we're in like a group mentality, so I'd say that's probably the answer. But then in other times of year, where maybe like during the winter when people aren't getting together, it's mostly reading. Except
this winter, one of my New Year's resolutions, so because we're married, it totally affected you,
yeah.
Was that I wanted to hang out with friends or family every single weekend. Like, I felt like there were too many weekends where we weren't doing anything, and I thought making a commitment to see people every weekend would be really fun, and honestly, it's been the most fun year of my whole life.
Yeah, it's too easy to be lazy if you don't commit to something. So I would say because of this year, I would say a combination of video games and board games would be my favorite hobby.
Yeah, that's really fun. Although I'm kind of surprised it's not, like, playing cards.
I guess that group of the tough thing is we just haven't played enough cards. Like if
Recently?
I love poker. I love getting people together for it. We just haven't done it in like almost a year. So without having done that, I'd rather say video games than board games.
Well, that sounds good. John likes anything where he can really exercise his strategic mind. He's incredibly strategic and clever.
That's cute.
So, I mean, I'm better at Trivial Pursuit. But you're the second best.
Just general.
Chris and Jess are gonna be so mad. Our friends who play Trivial Pursuit with us are gonna be so mad. Be like, I mean, Chris knows, but.
No, she's definitely better at general knowledge, but I do pretty well in strategic games.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Question 2. This will also very much help us align you to a Disney princess. So explain your style.
I guess that's pretty easy. I think my style is pretty much like jeans and t-shirt with like Timberland boots. That's kind of it. Or like maybe sneakers if I'm trying to run to the gym later. And then if I'm like trying to class it up a little bit, I'll wear like I would say like long sleeve, like plaid dress shirts kind of thing, like button up shirts. She calls it like hipster chic.
Hipster lumberjack.
Oh, hipster lumberjack.
Hipster lumberjack is the plaid and the beard and the beanie and everything.
Yeah, I would say like usually I'll either wear like a baseball cap or beanie. I would probably wear like those flat brim like lids hats, but my head's too small. Real
little head. You can't pull off a snapback.
No, it does. Like it like sinks in.
But I would say I think your style is cool because you also have like a sports theme to a lot of what you wear.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't commit to a single team. Like, we get a lot of comments about people being like, John's wearing something from North Carolina. Or John's wearing something from this team or that team. This is so cool. So I think people appreciate that you like spread the love when it comes to your sports gear.
Yeah, and I get questions about that even like at work, where I'll show up wearing like weird team hats, and they're like, "You wore like a Bears hat last week. Why are you wearing all of a sudden like an Eagles hat this week? Like, who do you root for?" I'm like, kind of no one, because and a little bit of it's even growing up when people are like, "Oh, we did so well," or "Our team's killing it." I'm like, "What position do you play?" Because like last time I checked, like you didn't. Like you're into where's your contract? Like it's like I'm not on the team. I can just root for teams that like make me happy when I see them play.
John is just always like he'd rather see a competitive game between two high-powered like teams than like support a team that's doing terribly just because that's where you were born.
Oh, 100%. Like some of my favorite teams in history have been teams that were not even good. They just were fun.
That's true. You were like the fan of the Miami Dolphins as a kid, right?
Oh no, the New York Jets.
Oh, but then Pennington went to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh yeah, I'm loyal to the players I like. Like if I think you're fun, like I'm gonna root for you, but I have no team loyalty because I don't see like it's just a logo. Why would I care like what team I'm rooting for? But,
so I think we learned something important about your Disney princess attitude. You're very competitive.
True.
And you like games, but you're not loyal. Like you're loyal to me, but like not in general, I guess.
Yeah, I think loyalty is overrated.
Yeah.
For the most part.
It's not a great thing to hear your husband say.
Like, I'm very clearly not a Hufflepuff.
No, you're not. No Hufflepuffs in this. Actually, our cat is definitely Cortland is definitely a Hufflepuff.
He's definitely a Hufflepuff.
He's the most loyal creature I've ever met in my life.
Like, I have other good Hufflepuff qualities, but loyalty is not among them.
No. Alright. And so we also get a lot of comments about the t-shirts you wear. You have a really fun style, I think, too.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Which he went through a phase a couple years ago where he got rid of like all his graphic t-shirts because he was like, "Oh, I'm getting older now. I feel like I should be more grown up in my style."
That's true. Yeah.
And then we both kind of hit this point that we were like, why? Let's have fun. Like, let's just wear what we like and like go crazy and support our fandoms, and that's definitely where we are right now.
Yeah, I reverted back. I don't know where like when the dam broke and it completely swung back in the opposite direction, but I think it was just
more than ever, I think.
Yeah, I think there was a point where I felt like I would rather be me day in and day out and just kind of not care if people thought it was a little more childish, and that's really made me more happy. So I think people respond to that anyway. Okay,
so also definitely not like succumbing to peer pressure or like caring too much what people think about you is like a personality thing of yours.
That's probably, yeah, that's definitely true.
Question 3. Are you humble?
I'd say I feel like 50-50. And we talked about it in your video too. I just don't, I just view there's some traits that people have. And I think there's really good times to be humble. When someone asks a real question and you kind of don't know where you sit on something, and you defer on being like gracious and not putting yourself above others. I think I have that kind of attitude, or at least I try to. I try not to be cocky about anything, but I don't go in. I don't try to set out and like be false humble. Right. And I kind of feel like a lot of the times when I'm around someone and I know they're great at something and they're pretending they're not, it's just aggravating. Because it's like, just, I'm not, like, if you're good at something, just tell me. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Yeah. And I don't take offense to it, so, like, yeah, I wish people just, like, rep themselves, essentially. Yeah, here's the thing, I do think you're humble in the best possible sense of that word, but, you're so confident in what you can do. But now, that being said, like, John he's super smart, that'll come up again in this video, but, like, and he's such a hard worker. And I find that hard workers tend to be more humble in my life experience. But I feel like every year you always think you're not doing enough at work. Like, you're like, I could be doing more, I could be doing better, I should be pushing harder, I should be working more hours. But then every year you've gotten, like, commendations at work for being, like, an integral part of the team. You've gotten bonuses, like, for contributions to what people do. And you're always surprised. And to me, that's more what humble is. Like, I feel like you're surprised when people recognize you because you always think you could be doing more. But you like, your base level is so much higher than what most people do. No, that's really sweet. I mean, I don't even know how to evaluate. I think sometimes it is like being your own harshest critic. And I think when I was younger, that used to like upset me, that I didn't like, but now I think I just view it as I think for me personally, it drives me. Whereas if like, I always think I'm never doing a good enough job, and then maybe that helps me turn out a better product or a better performance at times and things. But I mean, like, I think if like, I'm never satisfied, which isn't the best attitude, but it does help in some aspects, and it definitely does help at work. Yeah. Okay, this one I did tell John about before the video because I thought it was really hard and I wanted to have him like think about it, but he pretty much had his answer right away. So if you could have any Disney animal sidekick, because we're going to specify Disney and not just general animal, who would it be and why? No, yeah. Actually, this one was easy. So I would want Cricky from Mulan, and I think I've talked about this before a long time ago in a video. Cricky is definitely good luck. You said you would kiss him under the mistletoe. That's what I said, yeah. During one of our Christmas tags. And I could see her getting all antsy. He's lucky. Yeah, she asked the question to me about like, which Disney character would you kiss under the mistletoe? And I just saw her tensing up. I didn't want to hear him say any cute part. He'd be like Esmeralda, and I'd be like, I can't watch the Hunchback of Notre Dame again. Notre Dame. Yeah, she got all antsy, all the princess she had to hate. So like she was all nervous. But no, the true answer was Cricky. I would kiss Cricky for good luck, and I also would just be friends with Cricky. Plus, he seems like he just hangs out in your bag or your clothes. He would stick with you. You like legit think he's a lucky cricket. He definitely is lucky. And cricket. You, like we were saying earlier, John loves to play poker, and he plays at the casino. Yeah. And so that would be nice for you just to keep him in your pocket as good luck. 100%. Yeah. You do not shun luck. No. Never. Why? Why would you? Okay, question number 5. What is your dream job? Not the one you're currently at. Yeah, I think it just transitions the same way. Like, I would love to, and I don't even want to say professional, I would just like to play, like, be able to have the freedom to play, like, poker all the time. So, like, I guess, like, not, like, it wouldn't have to be professional making a ton of money. It could just be, you know, it pays the bills. Yeah. So, like, play poker, play, like, I think a big part of it isn't even the game. I love to interact with people, and sometimes I think, like, yeah, the freedom to have that, where you get to talk to people all day, but you also get to use, like, some of the more strategic elements of my mind, whereas work doesn't let me satisfy that itch. John's way friendlier with strangers than I am. Oh yeah, I just love talking to people in general. I mean, yeah, you can have some bad experiences where people turn out to be crazy. I mean, like, I'm partially crazy, but in a weird, eccentric way. That's kind of fun. But like some people, not in a harmful, get this guy away from me way. Yeah. So like you open yourself up to that when you're like my personality, but I just love to chat with people. So that like poker's great because you just sit and it's a lot of hours of like waiting. So that you kind of get to interact with people. It's fun, and you also get to use the things you like in my case, strategy. So yeah, I would do that for a living if I could. That's really cool. Question number 6 is, what do you think is your best quality? Do you want to answer that first, or do you want me to answer it first? Yeah, can you answer? Yeah. This was kind of hard for me, not because it was hard thinking of my husband's best qualities, but he has so many best qualities that it was hard to, like, say just one. But I'm going to go with kind of the theme we had in my video too, that I'm going to say your sense of humor and how funny you are, because that's so important to me.
so I recognize that in you, I guess. Like when I'm around people who just don't have the same sense of humor as me, it's like pulling teeth sometimes, like, and just to enjoy being with them. It can be rough. So I really value your sense of humor, but I do also want to point out that John is, I always say this, he is 100% the smartest person I've ever met, and that most likely many of you would have ever met. Like, he's just intensely smart. And
maybe not that smart.
You are though. You really are. And also, I just want to say this, like, for posterity, so everyone out there knows it. You treat people with courtesy and respect. Like, you never treat anyone badly.
I try not to, for sure.
You just don't. Like, you respect everyone regardless of anything, like, who they are, like, situation in life, you know, anything. And a lot of people don't. Like, a lot of people in this world don't treat everyone the same or treat everyone with respect. And you truly do.
No, that means a lot to me, actually. Like, I don't think you don't really talk about your best qualities with even, like, your friends or your loved ones very often. So that's really sweet to hear. And actually, like, that would change my own answer, because I would rather that be what someone remembered about me than anything.
That's what I mean. Like, it means so much. Like, you're a people pleaser. But not because you want people to be like, John's a great guy, he did this for me, he did that for me. You just legitimately want people to have good lives. Like, have good interactions and have a nice day.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, nothing ruins my day faster than if I think I've upset somebody.
Yeah.
Which does happen because, like, especially at work, like, very few people in it, like, I work in an accounting, like, department, so there's a lot of us. And I'm definitely 100% the biggest talker. So if someone brings
Shocking, right?
So if someone brings up, like, a movie, I'll jump in with, like, an idea I have about that movie. And if I think the movie's bad, I'm gonna be like, that movie is bad, here's a better movie to watch. And, like, sometimes people, like, love that movie. And if I realize, like, I'm never gonna hold back, and then instantly, if I think I've hurt their feelings, I feel terrible. Like, it doesn't completely change, like, how I speak about it, but, like, if I ever, like, have that feeling, it does ruin my day. And I specifically talk to them, like, oh, you know, I was just joking about that, or things along those lines.
But you know what, like, I feel like that's, like, that's, like, a cute story, and, like, that does describe you, but I also feel like that's almost, like, a fluffier example than what I mean.
Probably.
Like, if I can get real with you guys for a second, my father, who's no longer with us, he had, like, mental illnesses. And so John met my dad when you were only 17 years old.
Seems so long ago.
And a lot of 17-year-olds, like, I mean, they're great. Like, I'm not sitting here bashing teenagers. But I don't know that a lot of 17-year-old boys could have dealt with my dad. And not only did you treat him, like, with respect, but you just loved him.
Oh, yeah.
And not because, like, you were trying to make it look good with me, like, just because my dad was a person. And as a person, you felt he deserved to be listened to and understood and maybe friendly with and have a bond with. And, like, that, there's nothing that could have meant more to me.
Oh, that's really sweet.
We just took a quick break while John ran out and got himself a second cup of coffee. So if there's a Disney princess who really has a coffee addiction, but is constantly saying they're going to stop.
Well, I can stop when I have 5-hour energies to replace coffee.
Oh, I see.
It's really just a caffeine addiction. I also have an extra car coffee just in case I want more.
Oh my god.
It's my last day. Quitting now.
Okay, I've heard that.
We're gonna try.
Heard it. So, that actually leads us nicely into the next category, which is now that we've pretty much agreed that you're a wonderful human being.
Oh, I mean, I didn't say it.
Now that I've agreed. With myself. The best person to agree with. Then, what is your worst quality?
There are a bunch.
I actually had a very hard time coming up with one.
Addictive personality, number one.
No way. You have the strongest, like, willpower of anyone I ever met. Tell them, like, the last time you had sugar.
I don't know. Oh, probably. I don't know. The last thing that comes to mind would be, like, on a vacation.
Not when we were in Disneyland.
I definitely had that.
Disney
I had
World.
that huge pink donut in Universal Studios.
That was like 18 months ago, something like that.
And probably like the real answer is, like, you know, when you go out to eat somewhere and you're not sure if, like, a sauce that doesn't sound like it has sugar in it, like maybe like you're having, like, wings.
So I'm just saying, don't let him tell you that he has an addictive personality. I think he has a normal amount of human cravings that he just is very, very strong and smothering.
All right. I would definitely group, like, same thing you said, I'm a big procrastinator. Like,
yeah.
And I think, you know what the problem is for me? Is that college made it worse in that I kept putting things off early in college, and then I'd have to scramble. Like, I'd have to, like, write a paper that would be, like, 5 pages long, I had 3 hours to turn it in, and I hadn't read the book I needed to write it about. And you'd be like, oh, well, that's going to be your, like, rock bottom college moment. You're going to, like, fail that paper. But no, I'd, like, make it up. I would, like, skim, like, what the chapters sounded like, and I'd just write a paper about, like, nonsense, and then I'd pass. And it was, like, that was a bad lesson to learn. And then since then, it's just, like, gotten worse.
Well, people rarely learn a lesson unless they're forced to. Like, unless they get their comeuppance for some purpose, like, you don't really change. Like, there's no reason to. And I feel like your procrastination / laziness has never really affected you, because you also don't do it in, like, a work setting. Like, you get your work done.
Well, and you would help finally, like, it's been, yeah, I've been getting better and better at work for years, because I think I've worked in like an industry where there's always deadlines. So I'm, like, perpetually meeting a deadline, like, week to week.
Right.
It's just, like, minor ones and there's bigger ones. So, like, right now I'm at a necessity, a one-man department. So I'm the only one working on whatever I'm working on, and I have to, like, answer only to my boss, and no one does any of the other work. So I have to deadline every single week, and that helps me.
Well, I would say that I feel like you and I are the same. Like I said in my video, yes, I'm, like, lazy and a procrastinator with certain things, not at work. And you're not at work either. I would say we both have the same exact worst quality, which is that we both don't want to do anything at home. Like, we always just want to be hanging out and having fun together and doing the things we like. So we're just like, the dishes can get done later, or the trash will be taken out the, like, morning we're running out to work, and we're gonna be late for work because we had to take all the trash out. Like, but we still never really, like, we don't suffer because of it. So it's like, oh well.
So, like,
can't be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely procrastinator. I also, like, kind of have, there's a lot of, like, I know a lot of people who are real handy and, like, can get things done. And, like, oh, something broke, we'll fix that. Like, no, John ain't fixing that. Like, if you have someone who knows what they're doing, I'm willing to help, and I'll, like, hold stuff. I'll be a great assistant. I can do, like, the very menial level of the tasks.
That's a great point. You're not handy.
Yeah, not handy at all. Like, it's like, oh, if you want me to ruin something, like, I'm your man. Like, great at that. Like, I have the energy.
You're a fast learner. I think if you learned how to do things like hang pictures or paint the walls or something, like, if you learned how to fix something, you'd be able to do it. But there's no reason that you learn it, so...
I also, like, if something's really boring, oh, that's another thing, too. A little bit, like, I have actually, because I'm very into, like, games, things like that, if I'm interested in something, I can read a book for an entire day without getting out of bed. Like, if I really love that story, or, if we just play a new game, I'll learn it right away.
Great focus if you're
Great focus if I'm interested. If anything even mildly becomes boring to me, it's like, all of a sudden, like, my mind is drifting. I can't even control it. I'll just be like, what is, like,
I think that's normal, though.
But, like, I'm very flighty that way. So,
I wouldn't say that. I think that's a completely normal human reaction.
Alright, but I mean, I would lean towards procrastination. If you give me, like I said, if you give me a hardcore deadline and I need to hit it, I will find a way to hit it. But if it's up in the air, or I think that deadline can be satisfied, if, like, you have a week to do it, and I know I can do it in 3 hours, I'll leave myself an hour and a half. Like, I'll cut the time I need in half, and I'll still try to do it, because I just didn't want to think about it for the week. And, like, that's never going to change about me.
Question 8's an easy one.
Okay.
When or where do you sing the most?
Nowhere ever.
False.
Oh, wait, do I sing somewhere?
You sing when we are driving from Philadelphia to Florida.
Oh, that is the one place I sing.
When we drive to Disney or Universal,
yeah,
we crank up it's like completely different. Either the country or the rap.
Oh, that's true.
And we go ham on it. So, like, singing Zac Brown Band or Eminem, like, that's when you do it. 9, an article of clothing or an accessory that you just cannot live without.
Oh, like any of the, like, headgear, like hats, beanies, like, a lot of times,
like, I don't even see them without these things.
Well, it also helps too, like, if I'm working out, I don't want to get sweaty and then, like, worry how my hair looks. So, like, and I just, like, usually it's just, like, I don't know, like, my hair, like, I have thinner hair, so, like, it really helps, except for my beard, which is enormous. But, like, yeah, no, so I like to wear them. It's just, I don't know, I've been wearing hats for a long time, so it's just relaxing.
I hope one day we can, like, braid it and put like little beads in it like a pirate, like, you know, your Captain Jack Sparrow kind of thing, like Viking-esque, like then I hope that's an accessory you can't live without. I'm waiting for that day.
So wait, like can't live out, like I wear it every day?
Like every day to the workplace.
I can't imagine that, although there's been requests at work. Actually, like around Christmas, they want me to put like the ornaments in.
The little mini ornament? I think you should totally do it. I think it'd be hilarious.
Oh, maybe I'll do it next year.
We'll do it for Vlogmas.
Okay, I'll do it for Vlogmas. That's fun.
Question time, we are going to change a little bit. It says most important quality in a prince. Okay. I think that we should just flip it and say princess. So essentially, what is the #1 quality you need in someone you were to marry, let's say?
Marry, date, any of it, it would be the same thing. Like it wouldn't, it's just intelligence. And for me, even when I was younger, like when you don't even know what you want, I remember just thinking, I
didn't really give him a lot of time to decide what he wanted in a person. I was like, hey, let's go out. And we've been together for 13 years, so.
That is true, but I think I still see it on a daily basis in the sense of like, I can't separate, to me I look at people as a whole, like I've never been able to separate little attributes, and I think the most important thing is being able to, like, for me, talk with another person, like interact, and that's the majority of your day. Like it's the majority of the entire life is the little things that you joke about, like in between doing chores in the house or just hanging out.
Yeah, the chores that we do.
But we're just playing a game, like in between, like playing like a board game or a game together.
Or how about an 18-hour drive to vacation?
Yeah, like we just rarely get bored talking to each other.
True.
So like I having had that, I can't live without it. And if I just couldn't be with someone who wasn't like that the same way, who didn't like want to have like weird conversations
and like deep intellectual
and
talks.
We had and like
and then also just like random crap about superheroes and Disney
without basically any gaps in the conversation. It's always just like leaping from one thing to another, and so like to me there's that, like the intelligence funny aspect like combined is like what I'd miss.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, 11, I told John this one earlier as well because I think it's complicated and I wanted you to be able to think about it. So, if you could have any ability of any Disney character, what would it be? Like, I picked Maleficent's sorcerer abilities.
Okay.
But you can also pick something like Belle's singing voice.
Yeah, so I thought about this at a time. I'm sticking with the original answer I gave you.
It's so weird, guys.
So, just to confirm, because I don't think about this too often, the bad guy in Mulan is Shun Yu, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I want Shun Yu's ability to control his falcon. I want like a falcon, not his falcon, but a similar falcon.
John's falcon.
Yeah, my falcon. Because not only did he go and like do scouting for Shun Yu, he picked up stuff, and they seem to have just some kind of like, almost telekinetic, like, he understood, like, he just has like a random call at one point, and Shun Yu's just like, hand, doll falls into his hand, and he like sniffs it, and he knows like where things are. Like, that, like, to me, it's like, how did he know?
They're a great team.
Like, alright, I hear the call, I know my falcon is close, but how do I know he's gonna drop something into my outstretched hand?
Something that I can catch.
Yeah.
It's not going to be harmful.
Exactly.
Or too big,
He doesn't even like look up as far as I remember. He just like catches it. Like that level.
And I feel like he even talks to the falcon sometimes, doesn't he? And
he like gives him missions, I feel like. Like that falcon is clutch, and that falcon only without Mushu's interference, that falcon would have gotten away scot-free. I want that level of falcon to human relationship. And also, imagine how cool you'd be if, like, someone you don't like was, like, kind of like, I don't know, in your face a little bit, and all of a sudden you said something cool, and a falcon just, like, landed on your shoulder. You're like, yeah, that's my falcon. Like, are you sure you want to be messing with me still? I have a falcon friend. How many falcon friends you got? I'm guessing 0. 0 falcon friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a great choice.
I love the way your brain works.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I already know the answer to this question because it's one of the reasons I fell in love with you so many years ago.
So no pressure.
No pressure. You know it too. What is your favorite color?
Oh, the favorite color is easy. It's purple. The only... There is another color I love. I basically go back and forth between 2 colors. It's always purple in terms of just the colors I enjoy seeing. But I also love to wear a lot of green.
Yeah, you look good in green.
So, like, I basically have, like, bad guy Disney colors.
Oh my god, that's true! Purple and green are the bad guy colors.
Since I was a little kid, those are my colors.
And black, but I wear the black.
Yeah, it never deviated. It's always, like, one of the 2. I probably look better in green myself, but I like the look of purple more.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of like my answer. It's a little dual answer, but you love that I love purple.
I always have, because it just speaks to one of the things I love the most about you, which is, like, you just, like, are who you are. Who cares what other people think? Because I feel like when you're a 17-year-old boy, it's weird to say that your favorite color, like people think it's weird if your favorite color is purple. Like your favorite color should be like blue or steel gray or like, you know what I mean? Like it should be like a boy color. And like especially maybe, I don't know if it's the same anymore, but back when we were in high school, for sure, like people would definitely have judged you based on that. And like you're like, that's a girl color, you know what I mean? And you were just like, I just like it. Like I just respect that about you. That like if you like something, you like it, and it doesn't matter if other people think it's strange or unusual. You just, and didn't you tell me people at work recently thought that that was strange?
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, first of all, like it came up again because I mean, I've now purple roses on my arm.
Yeah, I think they look amazing.
I love them. I mean, I even said like to Kate when we were planning out, I'm like, if I'm gonna put colors, if I'm gonna go colors, because I love gray just like you do. Like it's gonna be purple and green. Like I would just, that's the colors I would stick to because like I know I'll never tire of them being on me.
Right.
I love those colors. Even if in the moment I love something like a new tattoo, I'd be worried that like I'm gonna get tired of red being on me because I don't enjoy the color.
Right.
So like it was a big part, and they saw them and they liked them. They thought they really did like them, and they're like, why purple? Like I'm like, to me, like that's not girly. And one more thing too is, I guess I always feel like we worry too much that other people are like thinking things about us. I just think, like, I know me, like, I don't sit around worrying about, like, other people's choices that often.
Completely.
And I think we worry that people do that to us. They're really not. Like, people are in their own heads. They're not worrying about you.
I have actually been saying for years that if I could go back in time and just give my, like, teenage self one piece of advice, it would be, nobody is thinking about you. And not in like a mean way.
No, good way.
In a nobody's sitting around and spending their time judging you kind of way. And if they are, I mean, that's a problem, right? Like that's just them. That's like that's their problem. But like, I really think that's true. I think that nobody sits around and just like contemplates how much they dislike someone else. And it like, again, if they do, it's like, wow, that's like an internet troll.
Yeah, and it's a very small amount of people. And yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
It's not like everyone in your high school is thinking about you and how much you like this girl color, right?
Yeah, so if something makes you happy,
embrace it.
It makes me way happier to have these on my arm, which I wanted, than to like all right, I guess I can't do it because that's not a guy color. Like it's like, who cares what people think?
Right, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, the last question is, describe yourself in 3 words. And I think for me, if I had to say, it would be completely aligned with what I said your best qualities were, pretty much. So I would say your best qualities are that you are intelligent, funny, and then I want to kind of say like, you know what, I'm going to just move off compassionate a little bit because we talked about that in depth. I'm going to say generous.
That's sweet. Man, I think I'm weirder than she's like. She's giving me very nice things.
You are a very nice person.
That's sweet, but I also think I'm like very strange and weird. Like in a way.
You are. That's why I love you.
So like my number one is like how I always describe myself, and like people do agree at work a lot. Like I'm eccentric.
You are eccentric. That is a great word for you. Yes.
Very weird, but like I don't know, about stuff that's like fun typically. So people often disagree with me.
Yeah, he's not like Howard Hughes, like keeping like jars of pee around the house.
Is that like a thing?
That's a thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't want myself associated with that. Can we be clear?
Not that kind of eccentric.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about this now. But yeah, I'm gonna keep eccentric despite that comparison. I don't know. Yeah, I go comparison. I'll go eccentric. I would go competitive.
You are competitive in a good way. Okay, another thing I love about John is, and I'm the exact opposite. This is actually one of my worst qualities. I am a bad loser. Like if I lose something, I'm better at it now as I'm getting older and more like.
Yeah, you're better.
I'm better now. But growing up, like if I lost a game or something like that, like I just couldn't handle it. And I would be like not the nicest person. I was also a gracious winner though. I wasn't like someone who would be like, I won. Some people are bad winners and bad losers. So I was only one. But you grew up like doing a lot of sports. I didn't. Like you grew up doing a lot of sports where afterwards you have to like shake the other team's hand and
yeah,
like
say
stuff
nice
like
things,
that.
Yeah.
And like, so if we're playing a game and like I win, you're always like, I am so happy that you won, and he means it genuinely. Like he likes when other people win. He just loves the game. So like I feel like you're competitive for love of the game, not for love of winning, and I think that's a super positive competition.
No, it's just, and the reason I keep competitive on the list, I think like some people would say, like, if you're not a little upset at losing, maybe you're not competitive. I've heard that answer before, and my version of competitiveness is like I view it as if we're playing something or any kind of competition, I owe you my best. Like I will never give up, even if it's obvious I'm going to lose. Like, if I can stretch out the game an extra hour by finding, like, interesting ways to avoid you winning, I'm going to do it. Because in my opinion, it's my job to make it difficult for you to win. Like, I will pull out every stop, every weird idea I can think of, and the second I lose, it's like, oh, good game, like, that was fun. Like, I will never concede anything. Because I think that's not okay. Like, I hate when people concede to me. So I think, like, I want to give you my best, but, like, yeah, I don't...
Believe me, he's never let me win at anything.
No, it's like, there's no point. Like, like, people don't get better when you let people win. It's an insult. So no, like, I'm very competitive, but I don't really, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't affect me, like, win or lose.
Except, again, I'm just gonna share one more Sweet John story. You guys can't believe he's, like, this nice as a person, but he is. When he was in high school, John was one of the captains of the high school swimming team, and so they always, like, hazed the freshmen, and I'm, like, very anti-hazing in general.
Yes, I
don't think you should have to, like, do crazy things to belong to a friend group, like a peer group. I think that's silly. We're very, like, non-peer pressure people, like...
Yeah.
Neither of us are very susceptible to it. So I don't like when people take advantage of those who are, or who those are just trying to fit in. I don't think it's right. And so John, again, even as a high schooler, they were all, they were making the freshmen all shave their heads.
It's a common swimming thing.
Like, that is so cruel and unusual to me. Like, especially as a girl. Like, I know these are boys, but, like, you said this one kid had, like, a thick, full of, like, luxurious hair that he was very proud of.
Oh, he had, like, Hollywood hair. He was, like, I mean, this is, like, it's awesome hair for a freshman. Like, it was legit.
And so, long story short, because we can make any story long.
We can.
But, John bet the kid that he couldn't beat him in a game of foosball. And if the kid won, he got to keep his hair. And it seemed like the other captains of the team were like, they were fine with that because they knew John's, like, excellent at foosball.
Oh, back at the time I couldn't lose in the game. Back then. Now I would probably get crushed.
And John had to work so hard to throw the game and make it look like the kid legitimately beat him because he just didn't want to see someone upset.
Yeah, I'm just very against it. I mean, I thought the idea was stupid anyway.
Yeah.
But it was, like, tradition, and, like, basically I didn't have, like, I was actually the captain of the team, and it didn't mean anything. Like, I had no control. Like, there was more, so, like, it was a big thing. They did it to us when we were freshmen. They did their own versions of it, and he was very upset, and it was, like, a way to kind of go, all right, he's not going to beat me, so why don't we just make him wager it? That way he loses anyway, and he stops complaining about it, and then it was just, like, a clever way to kind of pull a fast one over your friends. Because, like, they were still my friends, but, like, I just disagree with that practice. I don't think you should haze in any way. But, I mean, so, yeah, that is definitely a proud moment. I was actually a little disappointed my friends didn't know I threw the game, though.
Like, they thought he could beat you. Like, you were like, wow, oh, man.
It was, like, simultaneous, like, I was proud of my acting abilities, but also, like, really disappointed that they knew, like, I got shot.
But they didn't know you were throwing it.
Yeah, only my best friend at the time knew I threw it.
Right.
And he was quiet about it, which I was really appreciative of. But no, so, I mean, like, no, I appreciate that story, but but no, it doesn't take away from my competitiveness. I'm just very anti, like, if people are upset.
Right, so I'm saying, like, like, that's the only case I can ever think of you throwing a game.
Yeah, it's probably the only time.
Otherwise, you're gonna play to, like, the death, but, like, only for love of the game.
Yeah, like, you owe it to the person, but in that case, using my reputation that I would never throw a game helped.
True.
Like, that was the selling point. They knew I wouldn't throw it, which made it, like, it's like the perfect poker bluff. Like, John would never do that.
Alright, so then you went with eccentric and competitive and...
I told you this before, neurotic. I'm definitely a neurotic person.
Okay, what does that mean to you?
I think, like, I'm definitely in my own head a lot. And, like, it's in a bad way, too. Like, I would never call myself a confident person. I think, like, doubt myself all the time, which is good in certain ways and bad in others. Like, it helps me in work, because, like, I always doubt I'm doing a good enough job, and that probably makes me do better. But in other situations where I should probably, like, know what I'm going to do right away, I just am more prone to doubt myself. And it only really doesn't affect me on things that are, like, fun. Like, we're playing a fun game, I don't think twice about anything I do. But, like, in, like, real life, yeah, I'm definitely neurotic.
John never thinks that, like, when we buy Christmas presents for people, for example, he never thinks that he gave them enough. Like, you never think that you made people happy enough. Like, I think that's kind of where it comes in. Like, the self-doubt, almost more about how you interact with others, too.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's honestly just tough to like define yourself.
Oh, it's really tough to find, especially in 3 words. Like, we need to write a thesis.
And in all fairness, too, like, she's being way too nice, because, like, she loves me. It'd be, like, useful to have one of my enemies here to tell you the 3 things that define them. Like, they probably have, like, really different adjectives they utilize.
No, I liked your adjectives. I really did.
Oh, thank you.
But I also stand by mine.
That's sweet. No, I appreciate it.
So, now, there you have it. You have John as a Disney princess. Who is he? Honestly, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to watch this video and really like think about it myself. I feel pretty strongly about who I am. I know you feel pretty strongly about who you are, but we're not gonna tell you guys. So maybe one day. I've actually mentioned who I think I am before, so if you've been paying attention, you might remember. But I will say we're pretty much trying to stick more towards like the official canon of 11 official Disney princesses, but you do you. We're all about that.
Yeah, I don't care.
So.
Basically, as long as if you vote for it that I can still manage to find things for the giveaway, I don't really care.
That's a good point.
Like, if like I don't want it to be someone so obscure, they're like, oh, we broke the mold because we think you're this person.
Like, people online are always like angry about why the girl from, I want to say it's Atlantis, and also the girl from the Black Cauldron aren't official Disney princesses. Okay. But it's like, you're not going to be able to find any merch about either of them.
Yeah, and I actually love the movie Atlantis. But yeah, as far as I know, I don't think I've ever seen anything Atlantis in Disney parks. I think I've seen...
I don't think so. I think it was a flop.
Yeah, not in my house. We loved Atlantis. But yeah, I don't think it did very well. But she is a princess.
I believe you.
I think to me it's rude. Like, they made the movie. She's a princess. She's just not like the popular princesses.
Right.
So, I'm sorry.
Well, to be fair, popular princesses like Anna and Moana are not considered princesses.
And now I feel real bad because I don't even know the princess's name from Atlantis.
I don't either. Is it Kira? Kira?
You know what?
It starts with a K.
Someone who knows more than us, please tell us. Like, I've watched the movie a bunch of times, but I just could not in the last year, so I just do not remember her name.
And then I see people arguing on like the Disney groups I'm in all the time that the girl from the Black Cauldron, which I've never seen, should be considered a princess. And I don't know how. I know what her name looks like. It starts with an E.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, well, we'll have to see. But if anybody can tell me how to pronounce her name, I have, like, no idea. I don't also know what the Black Cauldron's about. Oh, but we are gonna, one thing is we are gonna be definitely getting that Disney sub-service that comes out. This, the Hulu of Disney, which is actually weird because Disney owns Hulu. But, like, its own thing where it has all the Disney movies and stuff. So that's probably when we'll be able to watch, like, the Black Cauldron and other things that we've just missed out on. And we're definitely planning on doing some videos about especially some of the more obscure Disney movies that we watched for the first time.
I would also, like, I mean, I don't know if they've announced their, like, full show list yet. But
I think they said everything.
No, no.
If they're making their own shows.
Because they want to have original content. I know.
Oh, I see.
They've announced 2 original content Star Wars shows, so
That's cool.
I'm anticipating there could be Disney stuff too. So if there's like really something new in Disney, like I would love to have like a weekly, almost recap analysis take of it. Like I think that'd be fun.
That definitely sounds like what you would do on a channel if you had it.
Yeah, it'd be like a YouTube video, but more like a blog for us. Like, what do we think? How's Disney doing? Like, how is the show? Like, is it worth watching? Kind of thing. Like, especially since it's gonna be a new service. Like, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna want to know: should they switch from Netflix to Disney, or should they should they cancel cable and now just like do a bunch of them?
Oh, definitely cancel cable.
But I just mean like if someone's like on the fence and then all of a sudden Disney comes out with like 6 shows that are original.
Oh yeah, that would be really worth it.
Because you hear it, but then again, like I don't watch most of Netflix's shows, so it's like you want to know if the shows are worth it.
I agree.
So I think that's one of the things.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, don't forget to leave your comment down below of which Disney Princess John is most like, and you know, it'd be really cool if you could tell us why you feel that way. And if we hit the 50 mark, then John will be picking out some merchandise for a giveaway based on that princess from when we come back in May from our Disney trip. If we don't hit that 50, we're not gonna have enough like stats essentially to make sure we really have a good idea of who he is.
And also just give me more votes than Kate, that way I can like say my video was more popular.
Oh man. My life.
Oh man, it would be really funny if I got more votes.
Alright guys, thank you so much for being here with us today, and we'll see you real soon.